Me Before You is directed by Thea Sharrock and it stars Emilia Clarke and Sam Claflin. We got Khaleesi and Finnick from The Hunger Games in there. And it's the newest romantic movie that is gonna swirl the hearts of all women all over the country, and it's gonna bring tears to their hearts. And it's a movie that I was actually kind of excited for, admittedly, because I can go for a nice romantic movie, you know. And this looked like a sweet little movie. I like the actors in it, and I'll say that this was a movie that, even though it's not exactly for my demographic, I think is going to be a pretty loved movie because I think this is a pretty darn good movie. I don't think it's a great movie. I think that it is definitely super cheesy and super over the top, but it embraces it and it has fun with it, and it's a movie that's so enjoyable to just you just get wrapped up in this story that, yeah, it's predictable. You know what's going to happen in this movie. You just from the trailers, you know what's going to happen in this movie. It's not like a surprise what happens in this movie. It's pretty obvious. When I was watching this movie, and I got the same feeling that when I go to see a horror film, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get scared. There's going to be jump scares, and that's what I'm going for. I'm going to get scared. In this movie, you're going to cry. Like, that's the whole purpose of this movie, is to make women get emotional, and then they cry, and then they leave, and they're like, oh, what a beautiful story. And that's like the purpose of the story. And I've never been more sure of this until like halfway through the movie. There was a montage scene, and like immediately I recognized, I was like, this movie is Rocky IV. Like, this movie is just super cheesy, just insane, like over the top, but it's good. It's like in Rocky IV, it's so cheesy and just ridiculous, but you love it. It's like you're just like, oh, Rocky, climb the mountain, you know. And that's what this movie is. This movie, like, for women, it's like, this is like the same thing, because it's so cheesy and it's like so predictable, but it's like you love it, and you love just getting swirled up in this story, and the characters are likable, and that's the thing with this movie, is it has good acting in it, and it's super cheesy, and if it didn't have a good acting and a good story to complement it, it would just be an awful movie that I couldn't stand, like 50 Shades of Grey or like Nicholas Sparks movies. But this movie has good acting in it. I thought Emilia Clarke and Finnick, Sam Claflin, I thought they had great chemistry together. I really enjoyed just watching them go back and forth, and even him in a wheelchair, Sam Claflin really gives a good performance, and Emilia Clarke really stands out in this one, because she was in the Terminator movie, and I thought in that she was like okay, and I enjoy Game of Thrones from what I've seen. But I'm kind of waiting for her to break out, and it's cool to see her be really good in the movie. So I was excited for that, and I can't wait to see more from her. I thought everybody in the movie did a really pretty good job. I didn't think anybody really stood out as a bad actor, so that was cool to see. I thought the direction when the movie was good. I like the soundtrack for the movie. There's not much of a score, but there's a lot of songs that add to the movie, and I thought they complemented it very well. And but then that's what brings me back to Rocky, because it's like Rocky for women, really. That's what this movie is, because it's so cheesy and so over the top, and some of the dialogue is just like you just roll your eyes, but at the same time you're just enjoying it, because you have to embrace this movie. You have to embrace it and let it just happen, because if you just over-criticize it and you just have no heart with it, then you're gonna hate it, because yeah, it's predictable and it's over the top and it's cheesy, but if you let it just happen and you just embrace it and you go along for the ride, let it be a predictable one, you can have fun with this movie. You will get enraptured with this movie, and I would definitely say it's a must-see if you're a woman that is looking for some tears, because I didn't cry because I was in a theater full of women and I had to hold it together to at least say that I didn't cry during the movie, but I definitely would have cried if I was just alone watching this movie in a theater, because it's very emotional and it gets you. It hits you, and It's a movie that I enjoyed watching, and I know women all over will love watching this movie. And yeah, I'm gonna go 3.5 out of 5 for Me Before You. I don't think it's a fantastic movie. I don't think it's the next Notebook. It's nowhere near as good as those movies with story and like real character development. But it's super cheesy and super fun, and it's exactly what women want. This is like a big popcorn flick for women. You know, like this is their Avengers. This is their Rocky. This is their Independence Day, you know, this is their movie, and I think it's gonna do really, really good. The theater is packed. Go have a good time in this movie. If you're a guy and your girlfriend drags you to it, have a fun time, you know, and take her, you know, because she's gonna love it. She's gonna love it, and you know, maybe you'll like it too, like I did. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this review in my old room, you know, there's no posters, but you know, we got the orange back at least for a couple reviews here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, Tom Waterloo, then please share and like this video, leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.